And here I am. It's time for What the Fuck Tuesday, where we go over advice questions that have been submitted by you lovely people out there in the real world, not cyber world, to get some help with your relationship dilemmas. My name is Deborah Cooper. I've been doing this forever, seems like, but it's 28 going on 29 years of this fun. And you love my intro. I do too. I think it's popping. I'm gonna have use it for another few months. I'm gonna have to come up with something else. Try to change it every year. But we have a new one for 2020. But we got. Let's see. Oh, let me fan through this right quick. Oh, looks like 16 today. 16 versus 17, which is what we've been having the last few weeks. So that's kind of a relief. I got my water in hand. I got my wine ready in case there's some crazy questions. And then I know you guys are ready. So let's see here. Let us get started with our column for Tuesday, August 27th, 2019. All right, question number one. This is number one of 16 mods. We only got 16 today versus 17. Thank you, Jesus, because that was a lot. Even though it's only one more than usual. Thanks, Texas. This is, it's just a lot. Okay, so let's go. This is from a female in the 30 to 36 age group from Copperas Cove, Texas. Copperas. I don't know how you pronounce that. I know you're going to cuss me out, but take it easy on me, please, she says. Oh, boy. Now, just from the intro, luckily my wine is within arm's reach. I met this West African man. Oh, didn't you hear me say no accents? No accents. Okay, you already screwed up. I met this West African man online, and when I met him, we instantly hit it off. He's a cool person. We have great conversations, and we have had a blast together for the past month. The problem began when I started snooping. One night we were having a small get together at his house. A girl called him on video chat on Instagram. He answered. I asked, "Who is that?" Instead of telling me who it was, he just handed the phone to me and introduced me to the girl as his girlfriend. So I actually chatted with her for a little bit and then she hung up. So after she hung up, I took the opportunity to take a peek at who else he was chatting with. I saw that another woman had been calling him on video chat and memorized her name. The next week, I decided to look her up and created a folk Instagram account to message her and ask what their relationship was. She told me that she just gets the D whenever she wants. LOL. Wait, how old are y'all? 30 to 36. Are you sure? Okay, let me keep reading. Y'all get your exes ready because I think you're going to be throwing up a lot of them. She told him about the messages and he messaged my fake account asking who I was. Long story short, he ended up finding out it was me, even though I lied and told him I didn't know what he was talking about. Now things are kind of awkward between us, and I'm wondering if I can get him back. I spoke to him tonight. He said he's just confused about the whole situation and feels that this sets us back. He did invite me over on Saturday morning to talk. I'm nervous. What does he want me to come over there for? Deb, is there any way to get this back on track, or should I just leave him alone? Okay, so with Saturday, that means it already happened. That would be interesting to see. She can comment under this video and give us an update. Because since we only do this on Tuesdays, and she's talking about Saturday, so that Saturday already passed. First of all, let me just go through this letter. First of all, you said he was West African. Okay, no. African American women and African men just don't work. It doesn't work. I don't know why you would think it would work, but it's just too different. The cultures are too different. So then you gotta go and start snooping after you've been dealing with dude for only a month. You didn't have the right to do that. Okay, you really. I mean, I'm the kind like I feel like if I have to feel like I'm motivated to snoop on a guy and second guess what he's doing and all this kind of stuff, that means I don't need to be with him. So I cut bait. I never, not one time in my entire life of all these centuries, it seem like of dating, have I ever snooped on a man. Not one time. Because, like I said, once I get that feeling that there's something amiss, I'm deuces and I'm out. And even though they say, well, you don't have any proof, I don't need proof. My gut, I trust my gut and I trust my instincts and I trust my feminine nature that something is amiss. Because even though you guys don't want to admit it, we can read our man. We're in tune with them more than they could ever understand. We can tell what they thinking and feeling by the way they fucking breathe or the way they walk. And they just don't get that. I mean, I don't fully understand it myself, but I think it has something to do with women's emotional connection to the people and the things that they love. Like our kids, that's how we can tell what's wrong with our baby. Even though they can't really talk, they can only cry. We know the different cries. Are you feeling me? So you know your man's different walk. You know your man's different tone of voice. You know when your man is holding something back. You know when he's lying. A lot of you don't want to admit it because you know once you admit it that you'll have to do something about it. So you don't want to do anything about it. That's scary to you because you might lose the relationship. So you pretend that you don't know. But see, you got to use that bullshit ass line on somebody else because I know that you know. I'm not letting you get away with that. Now you decide to stay in the situation. That's your decision as an adult woman. But don't ever say that you didn't know because you had some notion, you had some inkling, you had a warning bell ring and you ignored it. That's what happened. So going through all these conniptions, making fake accounts and all this kind of stuff, so you did too much. You came across as very insecure, immature, childish, and silly. Now, I don't know what, I'm assuming if you in the 30 to 36 age group, he's, somewhere in that same age group. Why would you think a grown man is going to want to put up with that childish kind of those antics like that? Come on now. And you destroyed any trust he would have in you. So the only thing you could be to him now is a booty call. That's that. Just you. This is a wrap. Okay. Plus, he's not really emotionally invested in you. You was only with him for baby boss baby. You cannot be giving me $20. I need to be giving you $20. Come on now. What is this? I'm gonna send that back. So she just doing too much. Lady, I mean, I know you want me to cuss you out and all of that, but I'm trying really hard not to use too much profanity, not extra profanity. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you that you were silly. You know you were silly. This is childish and stupid, and you need to stop this. In the next relationship that you get in, if you have these kind of situations arise where you haven't really sat down and talked with the dude to decide how you're going to run the relationship. Did you guys have a conversation? It seemed like you were surprised he identified you as his girlfriend. That means you had no conversation. You guys didn't say, okay, if we're going to be boyfriend and girlfriend, we need to cut out all other people out of our lives and we are going to conduct ourselves like this, and this here. You guys didn't have a conversation. So for you to take all this action like you own this man and you his wife and you've been with him and have kids with him and all that stuff after you've been dealing with this MF for only 1 month is just you just way out of pocket, way out of pocket. So consider yourself blessed that you aren't going to get cussed out today, but I reserve the right to bring this up at another time on a video when I am going to cuss and to cuss you out. Okay, now I put that little clause in there, so don't be surprised if you hear me mention this again. Oh, cuss her out. That's what you gave that $20 for? Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I didn't know. Okay, that was some dumb bitch shit. That's what that was. Dumb bitch shit. Just like over the top dumb bitch shit. Where do you get off thinking that you had the right to do something like that and treat somebody like that and play them kind of childish games with that man? He's so disgusted with your ass right about now. He don't know what to do. He's just sitting up there thinking, what kind of crazy bitch did I figure out, find myself and get involved with? That's what he's thinking. Poor guy. I don't like him already because he's African. But on this particular case, I gotta give him a little bit of slack because you the one that went left field. It wasn't him. I'm just like, God damn it. It's just embarrassing that you 30 to 36 and you still acting like this. You need to get your shit straight, okay? Now, since I already said everything else, I don't need to say it again. Y'all crazy. You say that. They see over there, they over here instigating. They over here encouraging me to pour. Yeah, I do feel bad for him. Usually them men with an accent, I'll be like, fuck them. But in this particular instance, don't sound like he did anything wrong, really. Y'all was just in the very beginning of some shit, and you should have got that straight. So the fact that you didn't express what it is you wanted and expect you to start playing these little games and making up fake profiles and shit like a 12-year-old. Come on now. That's embarrassing. Stop acting like that. That shit makes it, you just make all black women look bad. Come on now. Ugh. Question number 2. Male, 36 to 40 from Michigan. Quick background, he says. I'm divorced. I co parent with my ex equally and have been with my girlfriend for 2 years. We both have kids, don't live together, but get together with our children frequently and even vacation together. Our kids get along well, although her kids don't amongst each other. You should have said, gave me some information about how old these kids are. Are they males or females? What's the deal? How age, their age compared to your kids? Because I'm looking, you don't even say how old your kids are. You send in crappy letters. Okay. Recently, after a trip together, my daughter went back to her mom with a large bruise on her arm. While on a ride at a theme park, my daughter was smushed against my girlfriend's daughter on the ride, and her daughter pinched mine in a playful but aggressive way to get her off. It wasn't malicious, and my daughter didn't seem to be too bothered by it. Wait a minute. That little bitch pinched your daughter to the point where she had a large bruise on her arm, and you saying it was a playful but aggressive way, and you just think that's okay? Motherfucker, you stupid. You don't need to have your kids ever. No shared custody. You supposed to check that little bitch and say, you keep your goddamn hands to yourself. Don't you touch my kids playfully, aggressively, no kind of way. You don't do that. And then you get in her mother's ass too and make her check her kids. So, okay, so let me read the rest. I'm pissed because you know what? If that had been my daughter, I would have been at your house cussing that bitch out and her daughter too. Don't you fucking touch my daughter. Give me your arm. I'm so I can pinch you till you get a bruise so you can see what it feels like. Of course, when my ex saw it, she was concerned there was something more going on. She also shared that the kids told her that my girlfriend's kids fight a lot, and sometimes they feel in the middle trying to defend one kid versus the other. So my ex has her guard up now that my kids are being affected negatively around her kids. Well, since her baby came home with a big ass bruise, don't you think that maybe she has a valid point? She asked that I speak to my girlfriend about her kids' physical actions, which I'm okay with, but also asked that they get each other's phone numbers in case they need to contact each other. I honestly don't feel comfortable with that and feel that any concern should continue to go through me. She said she wouldn't be reaching out about this matter. Do you think it's fair of my ex to expect to have her contact info? No, I don't. No, it's not. That's not necessary. You're their father. Okay, that you ain't that she ain't taking your kids off nowhere by herself. She's not. You guys spend time together, but she's not like babysitting your kids, taking her kids to your house, her house for the weekend, taking them on trips and all this kind of stuff. Every time that your children around her children, you're there too. And so there's no reason for them two women to have each other's phone numbers. You better put some G in your voice and stop that. Now, if you guys are married or living together and they're in the same household, well, then that's a different thing because there would be times when she would be responsible for them, where, like if you're not there and stuff like that, then their mother should have their number under those circumstances. But right now, you each have your own spot. You don't live together. You spend some time together, and every time you spend time together, you're there. So her contact needs to be with you, okay? Number one, because that woman has no legal responsibility or accountability to her about those kids or to those kids. So there's no point for her to be calling that woman. She's supposed to call you. Now, the second thing, like I said, is you need to rethink this situation. You need to sit down with that bitch you've been dating and you need to tell her, look, this whole thing here happened. Your daughter pinched the hell out of my daughter to the point where she had a big ass bruise on her arm. That's nothing to play with. That indicates some serious aggression in your child. Now, they want to fight amongst each other. That's fine. And you need to have this conversation in front of her kids. You fight amongst each other, you do that. But the second you involve my children in that bullshit, then you're going to have to deal with me. And that takes all of y'all. All y'all are gonna have to deal with me, and don't let me get their mama up in here, because then you're gonna really have some shit to deal with. So I'm telling you right now, if this is not something that you can do, you can't keep your fucking hands to yourself, and bitch, you can't keep your goddamn kids in check so that they know how to fucking act when they come to somebody else's house and not be fighting and acting a zip damn fool, then we don't need to continue this relationship, because I'm not gonna have my kids be at risk, in danger, getting pinched and attacked and shit, bullied by your fucking kids. My phone says, I don't know if I could answer that properly. Let me turn it off. That's just some crazy shit. That's one thing I do not tolerate. I will check a bitch, check a motherfucker. My own relative's kid came to my house and was just talking to my daughter in a way I did not like. It was one of my cousins on my father's side that I don't even talk to no more. And I didn't like how she was, letting her kids talk to my daughter, threw them all out. It's like, now y'all got to go. And she's like, well, what do you mean? They just kids, they just playing. I said, no, I don't like how they playing. And I don't like how my daughter's looking right now. And it's happening in my house, so y'all got to go. Take your demon spawn brats and get the fuck out. And that's how we talk to each other. My father's side, everybody cusses. Everybody cusses. And we all cuss each other out. It's just no big deal. On my mother's side, everybody's more genteel. Well, not everybody, but most people. Yeah. Uh-uh. I would not be tolerating this shit. You crazy. But you need to have a conversation with all them little motherfuckers that woman has. And you don't say how many kids she has, two, three, four, five. I don't know, don't care. But you sit her down and you sit all of them down and you read them the right act about how they're going to act around you and your children. Any other time they want to be fighting and acting a zip damn fool, they can do it as long as you're not there and your kids aren't there. And if that's something they can't seem to work out, then you just say, well, then we won't be around you ever. And bye, it's been a nice 2 years. Because just like you found her, you can find many, many, many more wonderful single mothers that would be happy to have a good man and some well-behaved children to interact with their children. So you don't have to be with this broad, okay? You like her for some unknown reason, but I can't like people who let their kids act like that. I couldn't. If whether, male or female, I don't want to be around them because I know it's going to be some bullshit. And the second they talk crazy to me, then I rear up on them. See, then they're going to be like, don't talk to my child like that. It's like, bitch, I'll not only talk to your child like that, I'll talk to you like that too. I don't give a fuck. You sit up there letting your kids address me in some kind of disrespectful manner. I'm an adult and they need to fucking remember that and talk to me like they have some sense. You can't seem to make them do that, so I'll do it. And don't think I wouldn't. Any of y'all with your brat ass kids around me, trust me, they're not gonna be talking to me crazy. Now they can do that to you, but they're not gonna do that to me. If they do it, then they better be ready for the repercussions. Especially these kids that want to come up to you and like hit you and kick you and pinch you and like play slap you. They're acting like they're being playful and stuff. I don't play that. My own cousin bit me one time on my leg, and you know what I did? I got his arm and I tried to bite through to the other side. That little motherfucker never bit nobody in the family again. He was just having a field day going around biting everybody until he messed with me. I was all of 12 years old, and I taught his little ass a lesson. He still talks about how I tore him up. Okay, but you know what? After that, he stopped biting people. That's how I do. So I don't know. This poor man, you better get your act straight. Let's move on to question number 3. Yeah, you got to whip the kids and the parents because the parents these days are stupid. Just young parents especially are just dumb as hell. They let the kids do anything and just talk. They don't correct them. Don't tell them anything. Don't teach them any kind of manners. Don't even teach them to say please and thank you. So, and like, when we got used to get a gift, we had to write like a thank you note. And then, of course, that kind of fell out of favor. And then, we got to where we could make phone calls and thank the person. Grandparents, aunts, anybody. These kids, I tell you, my little cousin, I sent her some stuff because she's finally at school, 18 years old. I sent her some stuff. I had to ask her this weekend, well, did you get it? And she said, oh, yeah. So I'm looking at her like, heifer, I know that you just this, so that she could see my expression. She, oh, thank you, cuz. I'm like, no, this is not acceptable. In the future, if I should ever send you anything, I expect to get at least a text to thank me, an email, or call something. I shouldn't have to ask you if you even fucking got it. And so she was looking all contrite and everything. But I mean, that's the kind of thing. And I know my cousin in this case did teach her that, but for some reason she didn't do it. And so I don't know. But it's the kind of thing my parents would beat our ass if embarrassed them like that. But since I sent it to her away at school, my cousin may not even have known, that she even got it because I didn't really tell her that I was sending her anything. So that was one of those things I just had to let slide. But in general, yeah, thank you notes are nice. And their kids, yeah, I was mad because it's like, well, shit, watching, see how long it is before I send you a little punk ass something else that I spend my money on to pay for the postage and shit. No, I like this little kid, you know what I mean? But it's just like, yeah, they look like entitled and ungrateful. I don't like that. If I spend my money, your little bitch ass better be doing something to say thank you about it, because otherwise I'm not motivated to do it again. Question number 3. Female, 40 to 45, from St. Louis. I'm a 40-year-old divorced single mother and currently in the dating world. Oh no. Wait, I need some wine. These people done got me riled up with all this craziness. Bratty ass kids, toe up ass parents. I'm writing because I'm struggling with jealousy and obsessive thoughts. I'll try my best to get straight to the point. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I think all men cheat and really want young women like teenagers. As you can imagine, this is a huge barrier to me having a happy relationship. Deb, am I the only one who thinks like this? Or are there other women who also have these beliefs? If so, how do you handle this if you are married? Do you find that men admit that it is a struggle to not think sexual thoughts when they see a young, attractive female? I'm not attacking men, so please do not criticize me for asking these questions. This is a real struggle for me. I have a teenage daughter, which I vow that no man I'm dating will ever meet her. Your advice is greatly appreciated. On that last thing, I'm with you. On this question about, are men always really want young women? The answer to that is probably yes. Even the ones who are happy with their wives, you got to think about it, because what's the prime age that sex traffickers abduct young girls? Is 12 through 16. So if you have a daughter that's anywhere in that age range, you better watch her little ass like a hawk, because these dudes are not playing. Little girls in whole cities, there's like whole towns where the girls of all those ages are disappearing off the streets, out of their homes, out of schools. They don't know where these little girls are. And so it's the kind of thing where, and you look at the age, they're all in the same age group. So there's something to be said, and these men are making money off of these things. So somebody's paying you to use their bodies, right? And every time you do it, they arrest all kind of men, older men with kids older than these little girls, have daughters that same age, men who openly admit that well, you see the cases where the fathers be trying to do their own daughters and stuff, and I mean, this stuff happens. So your concern is a valid one. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say that is a very valid concern, because men have this thing where they always want to get a young woman. Even when they're old and their eggplant is mushy, they still want a young woman, and they think that's going to make some kind of magical, erector set happen there. But it doesn't, because the problem is them, not the woman. But that's what they want. So, will all men cheat? I don't know. They probably all want to, even if they don't. Because they all talk about the struggle, but the men who don't are more worried about, they have a greater fear of losing their wife and family than they do of missing out on some extraneous booty. Now, the men who don't have that fear, because they know the women ain't going nowhere, or they don't care if she goes, will go on over there anyway. But the men who sit there and think, wow, if I do this for this 10 minutes of fun, I'm going to lose all of this. I'm going to lose my kids. I'm going to lose my marriage. I'm going to lose my family. I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose half my retirement. I'm going to lose half my bank account. And I'm going to lose all of this stuff, the woman I really love, because of this 10 minutes where I let my little head make a choice for my big one. Fuck that hoe. And then they go back on home where they need to be. So those are the men with some sense. Now, did they really want to do that? Of course they did. That's why their sensible thinking won out. And so they didn't. Who is that making problems for Lady Boss in the chat? Somebody, y'all watch your language and watch what you say in there. The moderators are on strict duty, So they keeping everything down to a low roar. But why are you making them work so hard? They should be able to enjoy the enjoy the show too. Come on now. So, and as far as your teenage daughter goes, there's too many stories about that with the mother's boyfriends and the kids. So, I'm in full agreement of you with you there. The only thing I want to caution you about is, you getting jealous and obsessive thoughts about it, because this is the kind of stuff that could carry over when your daughter does get of age and wants to have a boyfriend or something. You're gonna be feeling like you need to be in competition with her or something. I'm not gonna be like part of that story. That's taking it too far. You guys, I was digging in a box and I found a picture of my baby when she was in preschool. I think she was about 4 in this picture, 3.5, 4, something like that. Look at how cute she used to be. Now she's like a demon spawn. She's like a little angel, so cute. Hmm. I just had to show that. So yeah, we worry about our daughters, and I'm with you on that. So let's move on to question number 4. This is from a female 56 to 65 age group from someplace called Salisbury. Salisbury. I don't know where that is. She writes, after a 10-year relationship with a malignant narc, I sold my house and moved to a new state. I made up my mind to never accept a relationship where I'm used, abused, lied to, or betrayed. That was a good decision. I met a nice, confident, intelligent man, but right away I sensed bullshit. We continued to date, and I quickly got to the source of the BS. I asked to see his house, and this request was avoided until I was out for 2 weeks. I refused to see him, so he admitted that his estranged wife, now living with another man, told him that no females were allowed in their house. Of course, I was done. I ran into him a month later, and he asked me to spend an afternoon with him. He was charmingly country. He's a decent guy, and we always had fun together. He treated me with respect and care, which was refreshing. However, I made it clear that there would be no eggplant unless he came to me with his papers in hand. But if he was ready to settle for a friendship, that was fine. So that's what we did. I really grew to like him, but the ex-wife was still having control over him, and that was a deal breaker for me. He then confessed that he was once a pastor. His wife was a congregant, and it destroyed him, and he left the church. I verified this story, and it is true. So why hadn't he divorced her, and why would he let her dictate his life? Nothing made sense, and there could be no truth, no real relationship with him until I knew the truth. He finally told me that for years after she cheated, he just did not think to divorce her. Instead, he gave her a BMW, and she allowed him to move into her parents' empty house. He works hard, loves his family, is generous and confident, spends a lot of time with me, but just cannot explain to my satisfaction why he's still tied to a woman who disgraced him. What man would allow this? I told him that if he does not have enough self respect to cut her off and file for a divorce, how can I trust him to protect, support, and be loyal to me when he doesn't do it for himself? He said he just doesn't know why he never got out of that situation and continues to accept abuse. He became very confused and upset and walked out. Deb, I thought I had been subjected to everything a black man could come up with, but what the fuck is this now? What the fuck is this? Is that you fucked up? That's what the fuck this is. At the very top of this letter, what did you say? Right away, I sensed bullshit. Yet you continue to fuck with him. Just going places, doing stuff, getting all up in his mix and all in his marriage and doing all this, all these questions and all these timeouts and all this kind of stuff, wasting time. Okay, you were already in a 10-year relationship where you wasted 10 years of your life with a fool. Okay, you shouldn't did this the thing, but you once you met him and you started sensing bullshit. Okay, that was the warning flag right there. With me, that's all I need. I'm out. I don't need to know what the bullshit is. If I sense that there's some, I'm deuces. Okay, and the second thing is, okay, then you found out what the bullshit was and you cut him off, but then you start trying to hang out with him as a quote friend, which still kept you in his mix and all up in his life and asking him questions and making demands and how can you be there for me when you won't be there for yourself and all this stuff. This man got entirely too much bullshit and drama going on in his life. Why you want to even be bothered with him, I have no idea. You must need a job or hobby or something. You need something to do with yourself other than this, because this is stupid. And you too old for this. I was 50, 60, 65, wasting all this time with a dusty fool like this. Girl, get your stuff together. I mean, it's like you moved and you changed locations, but you brought all the same thought processes and bullshit with you when you came. So you have to do some inner work on yourself first. Stop. No dating for you. No dating. You're going to figure out what it is that you find so attractive about men who ain't shit and who are just confused and lacking. She must have some dirt on him. Like, who he must have been fooling with some man or something. There's some reason. Thank you, Mashonda. There's some reason why he's not divorcing her, and he don't want to tell you what it is. But she got something on his ass and talking about he had never thought to get a divorce. He's a damn lie. He's scared to. There's a reason why he's not. But what you do is he became confused and upset and walked out. You should have been. Now you shouldn't have been dealing with his ass. Come on now, get rid of this fool. Don't talk to this fool no more. This is a waste of your time and energy. You on the downstroke now. Your years are counting. You better get your shit together. Question number 5, female, 31 to 35 from Santa Cruz. I've been wondering how much of your dysfunctional past should you disclose when dating? None. That's my answer. I've always been such an open book while dating, but I don't think it's been to my benefit. I grew up in a large dysfunctional and abusive family to the point where I now have no contact with my grandparents, my parents, or my siblings. My father's an alcoholic who refuses to do recovery, and my mother has a personality disorder. Some of my siblings are drug addicted, others deceased already. I spent 5 years in therapy in my 20s and was told by my therapist that my family is narcissistic. I was single for a long time in my 20s and never had a relationship that lasted longer than 18 months because I moved around so much for work, but also because I dated all kinds of unsuitable men. I'm now in my 30s and I'm to the point where I feel like I'm ready for a relationship. I don't want to lie about who I am or what I've been through, but I've had a couple of people use what I disclosed against me in arguments, and I also had a relationship with someone who seemed to feel sorry for me because of what I told them. My question is, can you really know someone if they don't share much about their past? What would you do? I just feel like I've got red flags all over the place, and I've had people not understand why I don't have contact with my family and find it questionable. When dating, I don't mention the lack of contact until much later. This question is quite vulnerable for me to send you, so please don't be mean to me. Sorry, can't do that. The number one thing is there's several videos on this channel where I openly tell women to keep their fucking mouths closed. You talk too damn much. You tell men all your business. They don't need to know all this shit about your past. They need to know who you are now and what you can do with them in the future. That's what they need to be concentrating on. Okay, you don't even have contact with these people. Say what I call a non-motherfucking factor. So you can tell them that they're dead. How they gonna prove any different? Just don't be popping up later talking about I'm going to my sister's funeral or some shit like that. You don't have sisters anymore. You don't have brothers no more. You don't have parents no more. And you don't have grandparents no more. They're all dead to you. Okay, now if you have that story, then they just dead, and that's just that. And nobody will ask you because they're dead. Okay, and you don't know where they're buried. That you think they were cremated, but you're not sure because you were a little kid when it all happened, or you don't remember, or whatever. Whatever. But the bottom line is, you don't need to give them any information about your family that you don't even talk to. What's that all about? You had all this therapy and all of this stuff. You should have asked your therapist how to handle this, and they would have told you. But since you didn't, I'm telling you, don't mention them. Just say, I used to have family, or they got killed in a car accident. They was all in a van together, and everybody died at once. I would make some crazy shit up, and they would be like, "Oh my God, how horrible!" Yes, it was. I was raised in foster care, raised by wolves. I don't know, whatever you want to say, but whatever it has to do is going to be some shit that they're not going to be asking you about. And then that's how you handle that. People don't need to know all your business like that. Stop fucking blabbing. Of course they're gonna use it against you because that's what men do. They're trifling and disgusting. And anytime their whole focus is on winning. Always winning, winning, winning at any cost. And if that means they have to crush you with some shit that they know is gonna hurt you just so they can feel like they won, that's what they're gonna do. That's why you don't tell them anything like that makes you so vulnerable. And can you know someone if they don't share much about their past? Absolutely. I mean, unless their past was like child molesting or domestic violence and murder or something. But it's some family dynamics that really don't matter in the here and now. Um, it's not an issue, and you feel like you got red flags. Why? You're gonna have more red flags if you start blabbing and telling complete strangers your whole life story like that. Men don't need to know all of that stuff about women. You guys talk too much. You want to overshare. Oh my God. just like always, oh, and let me tell you, when I was in diapers, I used to feel so abandoned when they didn't come and pick me up. And then I had a boyfriend, he would always tell me that he was coming to pick me up, and then he didn't pick me up either. And, then a boyfriend blacked my eye, and I just was always in abusive relationships because of my parents. Okay, how does that sound? You sound like a nut. Even if the shit is true, why would you tell somebody that? They're just gonna look at you and say, "Well, God, she's all kinds of fucked up, and she takes all kind of abuse. Let me abuse her too." That's what you're gonna be doing. You're giving them an open ticket to repeat some patterns that you gave them a map to do. You did that. There's no reason to tell men any of that kind of stuff. And even if they ask you, say, "Why do you need to know that?" How does that have anything to do with what we're doing right here and right now? If that's a problem for you, there's the door. You can hit it just like you came in it. You can go out. Because that's it. I'm not telling you anything else. Everything that you need to know about me, I've already told you. You say that voice kills her. But that's what the people, they be sounding like to me, just like talking too much and sounding whiny and silly. Okay, so I hope that you understand. The videos, I will try to remember to link to them, but I've been pretty bad about that. But um, one shows a man sitting on the side of a bed and this woman is there and he's like, "Why did she tell me that shit?" or something. And then another one talks about women, it shows like a lips with zipper on the thumbnail. I forget what the title, but I just remember the pictures. And how you need to zip your lips and stop talking so much. All right, let's move on to question number 6. This is from a young woman in the 21 to 26 age group, no location provided. Deb, I was on a date with an older white man recently. I was well dressed, very well spoken, and charming. This was my first time going out with a man who wasn't black, so I tried to have an open mind. We were having a good time until I guess the liquor started to set in. He started to tell me how he really felt. He started talking about how his father used to sell insurance in the hood and talking about Black and Miles and Hennessy. This was really off putting and shocking as I couldn't have given him the impression that that was something I was into. My question is, why would he say that? My question is, why are you so affected? The man said his father sold in the hood. Okay, so he's had some interaction with hood niggas. What's that got to do with you? I've had interaction with hood niggas too. You don't see me, everybody here getting all offended with their PhDs and stuff because of that. I mean, if they do, they haven't told me. But you gotta meet people who have different life experiences. Now, let me tell you how you handle this. You sit there and you just look at them, and then you say, "Okay, now you had a point for telling me that. Can you explain to me what that point was?" That's what you do. You just flip it back on him and just look at him with your head to the side, like how puppies look, and just look at him all confused, like you don't understand what the hell's going on. And so he's be like, so don't let him say something like, "Well, I was just reminiscing about it," or, something. He might say something like that, but if he says anything like, "Well, I thought all black people like Black and Miles or all black people like Hennessy," then you rip him and then you get up and you never see him again. But most likely he was just trying to tell you about his experience, growing up. Maybe that's how he came to be acquainted with black women and why he likes black women. You don't know because you didn't ask the right questions. You just got all in your feelings and talking about how you was dressed and all this old shit. That don't mean nothing. This is a conversation that you messed up. You had an opportunity here and you missed it. I keep telling y'all, when you go on dates, your job is to find out information. Stay out of your feelings. Okay, you can express your feelings to me later. But in that moment, get your G up and talk. Ask questions. So you came away with a whole bunch of assumptions, assuming you understand what he meant, but you really didn't because you didn't ask him. See, you just jumped to conclusions and ran with it. That's poor communication. So what you were supposed to do is saying, "Okay, your dad used to sell insurance in the hood. Well, tell me about that. Did you go with him? Well, what was your experience? Were you ever scared? Did you make friends with the other kids? Well, what happened? How old were you? So how long did your dad do that? Hmm. So you talking about Hennessy and Black and Miles? How did you find out about stuff like that? I don't even know about stuff like that, and I'm black, so you need to educate me. And this is, I know about Hennessy, but Black and Miles, I just found out what that is recently, like within the last 2 weeks. And that kind of stuff. I mean, have a conversation. Figure out what this man was telling you this for. He was trying to find some kind of common ground, and you missed a good opportunity here. Okay. And I'm not really thinking that he said this in any kind of way to be mean or disrespectful. I'm thinking he's just sharing his past, and, it left the door open for you to ask questions about why he was telling you that so that you would walk away and know for sure instead of having, you know, theories that you're operating under with no proof. Okay. I like information. I don't like to walk away without knowing for sure. I would have turned into Barbara Walters on his ass and asked him all kind of questions because I would want to know. Now he's like, it's your first time going out with a black woman, but was it his? Don't sound like it. And I'm thinking, his time in the hood, he probably saw some little honeys there, and that's what piqued his interest in black women. But you would never know that because you didn't ask the right questions. All right. Well, Diana Prince, no matter what you say, these quote stereotypes are real. Niggas smoke blacker miles and niggas drink hen dog. I drink it myself. Okay. My daddy, that's the only drink he would ever drink. All my uncles drank Hennessy. What do you want from me? So you say it's a stereotype. I say it's reality because that's who's buying Hennessy. Okay. I'm just saying. I can't roll with that. And if that's what he was around the hood, that's what he probably saw, because that's where people drink Hennessy and smoke black and wilds and weed and everything else. So I'm not going to say that this was a stereotype. I'm not going to jump to that conclusion because I didn't get a chance to talk to the dude. There's a reason why he said it. That was part of his experience in his life. And so for us to say that it's a stereotype when he actually lived it is wrong. And I'm just not going to go, I can't roll with that. Question number 7. This is from a male, 21, 31 rather, to 35 from Long Beach. About a month ago, a new girl started at my job. We got to chatting and eventually decided to go on a date out to lunch. About 10 minutes before, she texted and said she's not feeling well. Okay, no big deal. We're chatting at work and we set up a second date for dinner. She doesn't bother to show up or text or call. Wow. At that point, I decided to no longer attempt any sort of relationship. It's a no brainer. So we stopped chatting at work and I just go on about my business. She starts texting me telling me she wants to hang out, stops by my desk, wants to chat. But she never mentioned standing me up. She never apologized. It's like it never happened. Today at work, she said she wants to go to dinner with me. I said, no, I have other plans. But really, I just don't trust her. I am being paranoid. Is this normal behavior? I don't even know because I haven't been in the dating scene for a while. If this is normal, then I'm in trouble. Now she's just a flaky, stupid hoe. What you were supposed to do, though, if you're a 31 to 35-year-old mad ass, is jam her ass up. You just like acting like it didn't happen yourself. What are you, coward? If she come up there talking to you about dinner, you say dinner. We already had a dinner date and your ass didn't show up. So no, I'm not going nowhere with you. I'm not going across the street with you. I don't like people who make a promise to show up someplace and then don't follow through. So it's a wrap. Just go back to your desk, act like you don't know me, don't talk to me no more. Don't text me, lose my number. That's what you're supposed to tell her. That was some disrespectful shit. And I don't deal with disrespectful people, whether at work or off work. I don't. So you're out. You did that to yourself. So leave me alone. And that's what you do. But see, you haven't done that. You just over here writing letters to me and being a big pussy baby. That's not how you handle your shit. G up. Put that hoe in check. Man, yeah, she flaky, but he just acted all weak and silly. That's not how you do. Somebody does some shit like that to you, you need to, have a conversation about it. Of course, me, I'd probably set up a dinner date with her and then just not show up so she can see what it feels like. Because why? I'm petty like that. Then I show up at work the next day just as looking just regular. Just like what? Just like she did. She would get the message. But I'm trying to grow out of such things and be more mature. It's very difficult. It's very difficult because I have this urge to just be petty and just do stuff like that. And it's very challenging to fight it. All right, let's go. Let's move on to question number 8. This is from a female in the 30 to 36 age group from Orlando, Florida. She says, "Hi, Auntie Deb. Aw, I love your videos and I love watching your videos on What the Fuck Tuesday nights. Here's my dilemma. I currently work at a job that I hate. I have been in my current position for almost 4 years, and the thought of going to work every day at that place makes me sick. Oh my! Oh, this sounds awful. First of all, my female manager shows favoritism and wants to develop a personal relationship with other females at work. We actually had a team building activity where we had to go over to another coworker's house for painting, which I declined because I wasn't comfortable going to another coworker's house. I deal with them only for work and have no reason developing personal relationships. The only reason why I'm staying is because I have future vacation plans and I'm also working on my bachelor's degree, which I'll be done in another 2 years. My question is, should I go ahead and pursue another job opportunity, which is no guarantee they will pay for my school, or should I stay where I am and wait until my vacation and school is over? Thanks for your help. Well, you can put some feelers out, and find out what companies do have that tuition reimbursement type of setup. A lot of them have it, but what they require though is that you be on the job for a certain period of time before they, even you can even apply for tuition reimbursement. It's not something that a benefit that you receive right away. So, with that in mind, and the fact that you also know the work where you are, they know you're in school, your schedule can accommodate it. I'm going to tell you to suck it up for 2 years, get your paper, and then leave. Okay. Sometimes you got to make short term sacrifices in order to get the long term deal that you want. You use this situation to get what you want. Okay. Now, it doesn't sound like they're being so awful to you. It just sounds like you just not, really wanting to participate. Let me tell you how you messing up. Okay, you don't have to have a personal relationship with them, meaning that you tell them all your personal business. Okay, that's something you don't have to do. But when there is a team building activity and you don't participate, then you're not looked at as part of the team. What's wrong with you? Why don't you get that? Okay, you're set basically position yourself so that you're an outsider. And then you wonder why you have all this friction and don't want to go to work. You did that to yourself. You had an opportunity there to go in and mend some of these fences and let them see you as a someone who's fun, someone who has a side that they didn't really know that existed, so that you can say, "Oh, she's kind of cool. She's all right. I didn't really realize about her until we got away from the office." You had a golden opportunity, and you instead got all in your feelings and got tolerant and messed it up. See, this is the concept. Y'all be in your feelings too much. You got to use your brain. Okay, your brain. You need that job, and you need the people to chill out on how they treat and talk to you. You need to go in there and work your magic and stop pouting and acting like a little kid in your 30 to 36-year-old age group self. This is not, you didn't handle this well. So I'm going to suggest you stop doing that. If somebody wants to go on a lunch thing, like they're going to have lunch away from the office, take your happy ass with them. And then talk about some stuff. You don't have to talk about your personal life. Talk about something you read, or talk about a play you saw, or talk about some travel you want to do, or a place that you did go. Talk about your dog, your cat, your goldfish, your turtle. Talk about some, trip you went on as a kid and how, you and your siblings were as children together. See, nothing recent. Talk about stuff, shit that happened way in the past, right? And it's light, it's funny, it's entertaining, it shows your personality. You don't talk about your boyfriend drama, your husband drama, your drama with your sick kid that's got special needs. You don't talk about your parents going through a divorce. You don't talk about the angst and the broken heart because your man cheated on you and got some other woman pregnant. You don't talk about anything personal like that. Your health condition, none of nothing, nothing, none of that. You talk about shit that's light and funny and that you could talk about with anybody, and you let them see that side of you as part of your personality on the job. Okay, there's you on the job and there's you at home. They don't mix, but you have to let them see something so that they feel like you're part of the team. Right now they're feeling like they're alienated from you, and you did that to yourself. You need to fix this. Okay, you need to stay your ass up there for 2 more years until you get that paper. And what might happen is by the time you get it, you will have done everything and fixed all these broken fences, and you might not be that bad and want to stay there. Yeah, you can make up stuff. It don't have to be true. But this separating yourself and going in the court and pouting and looking all silly and not going to stuff and all that, that's not gonna get you nowhere but create drama and problems. Don't do that. And the rest of you listening to this, don't do that. It's already bad enough, when you try to black folks to get up in corporate America, they're already looking at you all kind of crazy. So you have to do a little bit extra to calm their asses down because white people just be tripping about nothing. So understand what their mindset is because you're different. Okay. So you have to focus on where you're similar, where more so than where you're different. But I had the white people at my job eating sweet potato pie, collard greens, all kind of stuff, because they had never had it before. They never, oh, we've only had pumpkin pie. I said, oh, pumpkin pie don't even compare. I'm gonna make y'all some, Thanksgiving time, I'm gonna make y'all some sweet potato pie. So I brought about 6 pies up there, cut them, honey, you ain't never seen people shoving their faces so full of something. And they were just amazed. How come I've never heard of this before? This is like, oh my God, it's just just fucking delicious. And they were just, oh, can you make some more? Can you make some? I'll buy a pie. I want to have some for my Christmas family dinner. So I started selling sweet potato pies, and that's how I raised the money to publish my first book, Sucker Free Love. I sold sweet potato pies. I must have made 200 pies, and I was selling them organic sweet potato pies. We'll have to talk about that game another time, but whatever. It enabled me to charge $5 extra per pie because it was organic. So you gotta have pimp game. Y'all don't have none. Y'all just want to be living your life like all on top. You can't do corporate. Oh, I loved corporate America because that's where you cut your teeth. You cut your teeth, and that's where you learn game. Everybody should do a stint in corporate America. There's nothing like it. There's no other training ground to teach you how to understand people and how to move and shake and get what you want. There's no better training ground, no better school. You know. So y'all better recognize. Don't let this little dimpled face and fat cheek smiles fool you. Okay, so that's my advice to you, young lady. Come on now, get your pimp game up. You better start smiling and going to lunch with them broads. Question number 9, female, 21 to 26. At least go get your nails done. Do something. Do something with yourself. 21 to 26 from Canada. A year ago, after graduating from college, I moved into a house share after getting a job. I counted myself lucky as my female housemate was very friendly and welcoming. She took me under her wing, knowing I didn't have any family or friends nearby. She introduced me to her friends and invited me on nights out. I showed her I was thankful by keeping the house tidy, dealing with our pain in the ass landlord, cooked meals, and did lots of favors for her. We were close for about 9 months. Around May of this year, I noticed she had suddenly started to make comments about my appearance. I should dye my hair, get fake nails. I should wear contacts, not glasses. When I did follow her advice, she became offended, often questioning me. I wonder what that means. One day we went shopping and I asked her what she thought of a top I liked. She replied, "It's not something I would wear, but it's very you." Her comment stuck with me. I've since become very indecisive when it comes to clothes. Shopping. I try to get an idea of what's in fashion by watching vlogs on YouTube, looking at what other women around my age buy, magazines and so forth. I'm clueless. Shit, I'm in that club too. Don't you notice? I don't be dressed fancy. When I have to do something like for TV and when I do appearances, speaking games and stuff, I have friends that pick out my clothes. I just give them the money and they go and get me outfits because I'm not. That's not my thing. Hair, makeup, clothes, all that. I'm not good at any of that stuff. And so I admit it. I have friends who are top notch, look like divas every time they stick out stuff out the door. They know what I should look like. I give them $200. They go and come back with all kind of shit. And then I put the shit on and they put on my makeup and do my hair some kind of cute pin-up way. And I go out the door looking like $1 million. Did I have anything to do with it? Absolutely not. Nothing. Because I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to that kind of stuff. I have a concept, but like it's just a challenge for me. So I have friends who do that for me. So I understand your cluelessness. I'm right there with you. A month ago, I was going on a date. My housemate asked what I was wearing. I showed her what I had picked out. She laughed and said, "You really have no idea, do you?" No wonder you haven't got a boyfriend. I asked her for help and she said no, she was busy. The date was unsuccessful because I wasn't myself. When I returned home, my housemate was with her friend. They were watching a movie and she asked how it went. I told her there was no spark. She turned her back to me, whispered something to her friend, and they burst out laughing. I went upstairs to my room and cried myself to sleep. Oh, that's rude. They're trying to bully you now, huh? We are not friends. I have been keeping my distance. She still carries on teasing me. I know I'm pathetic because I can't stand up to her. I'm lonely. I have come close to quitting my job I love and returning home. I'm looking out for a new house share as I feel so depressed. I've been doing lots of overtime at work to avoid her. I save money that I would like to spend on myself. This is not to impress my housemate, it's for me. I've been ruthless, throwing a lot of clothes away but not replacing what I've thrown out. I don't have much left. What you doing that shit for? Can you give me advice on my housemate? Am I being oversensitive? How do I find my own identity? Oh my God, girl, this is beyond the scope of this column. This is some you need to shrink shit. Cause this is I can't do this. What I can tell you though is this woman is toxic. And for someone with such a shaky sense of self esteem and confidence as you, this is the worst possible place for you to be. Now you need to spend some of that money that you've been saving up and move out. Now, if you want to quit your job and move home for a while, see if you can take a leave of absence from your job. Start with that first. Tell them that, I don't know, say you need, where are you? What country are you? Oh, Canada. I don't know. Sue, do they have family medical leave there? Like family leave. Like if she said she had a sick parent and had to go home and take care of them for 90 days or something, would she be able to get her job back? In Canada? Do they have something like that? I don't see that Sue live. One of my moderators, she lives there, so she would know. That would be my first suggestion. If you can do that, pack your shit up, move home with your parents, get loved up, and get back. Ground yourself, and then come back. But you're not gonna live with her, okay? She can't throw her out there. She moved into her house. There was a house share. She moved in with her, so she can't throw her out. She has to leave. Um, And then, but if you can't get that job back from going on a leave, then just go back to your parents and start looking for a different job and tell them when you'll be available. And then during that time while you're there with your parents, make sure you get some therapy, okay? Because this woman has done a job on you, and you need to get your confidence level up. And you can go to any department store. They have personal shoppers there that will help you figure out what kind of outfits to buy. It's just you don't have to do this by yourself and you don't have to struggle, nor do you have to depend on this heifer to tell you anything about what to wear. Those girls that they have in the stores, and sometimes some of them are guys too, like gay guys and stuff. Smart, remarkable sense of fashion. You just tell them what your budget is, and they will pick you out some outfits, and they're always on hit. At least the ones I've used at Macy's were. They were just excellent. I mean, way better than I could have done myself. And so I'd be like, "Oh, that's really cute." Then I just buy. You just pull out your credit card and you pay for it, and you take the little bag home, and that's it. That's the end of That's the end of it. You don't really have to do anything else. I love it. I love personal shoppers. But you need to get out of there because that place is killing you. Being there with her is killing you. Make the transition. You see, September's coming up. You should try to be out of there by mid-September. Okay, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So give your job 2 weeks notice. Try to file some FMLA paperwork if you can. Um, oh, Lady Boss Babe, you can give tips. Okay, see, she right in there giving you some makeup tips and stuff right now. I guess she just poor little thing. I kind of feel sorry for her. She finished college and she's out on her own for the first time. That's a rough adjustment because you're going from like semi childhood. It's like supervised childhood. While you're in college and stuff. And then when after that, you're like, and she's not living with her parents. Like a lot of kids go back and live at home. She's on her own and she's trying to do the best that she can. And, just trying to find her way. And for some young women and men, it's a struggle and she's having trouble. It would be better if she had a roommate who was actually a friend to her and they could support each other. But this one just being a bitch. And so it's just making it all harder for her. And she's kind of lost her way. And so you need to go home, go back to mommy and daddy for a minute, and get regrounded, get your courage back up, then go back out, okay? And understand these are the kind of people that you're going to be running into. These are people that are going to be jealous of you for one reason or another. She's probably a really pretty girl, and this girl's envious of her. That's why she wanted to change her, to make her look some other way. Get that dye out your hair, and if you want to wear your glasses, wear your glasses. You can switch them up with contacts if you want to. And but in the future, don't listen to other people about what you should look like. You decide what you're gonna look like. Even if you want to be like me and look a hot mess 90% of the time, I put on makeup for the show. But other than that, I walk. I don't have no makeup on. I'm like fuck it all. I just be looking like a bum, and I'm comfortable with that though. And anybody who's not, what? I don't care. That's just how it is. So you have to be confident in yourself and who you are everywhere you go. But no matter what you have on, no matter what your hair looks like, no matter if you have on glasses or contacts, whether you have on makeup or not, none of that matters. You take you everywhere you go, okay? And that you have to feel good about that you that you walking around with. Right now you don't. And this is very sad because you're so young. Okay, let's move on to question number 10. This is from a young woman in the 26 to 29 age group with no location provided. She says, "Hi, Deb. I'm a 26-year-old woman currently dating a 24-year-old guy. I'm in a stable position where I earn a six-figure income. Damn, girl. Building my savings, investing, also have finances to cover extra expenses that may come up. I also come from a family that's financially stable and supports me in all that I do. I've worked very hard to get through both undergrad and grad school and describe myself as very ambitious. My guy is insanely sweet, laid back, God fearing, makes me laugh, and makes time for me always. I'm a very good judge of character, and he is an all around great guy. He is not the type of man I normally would have dated, but that is probably a good thing because I've dated some horrible folks in the past. I did not think it would have gotten this far with this guy from first glance. I was simply dating at the time and having fun. But I have gotten to know him, and he is an amazing person with whom I have fallen in love. Everything is great in our relationship except for his current financial situation. He works a blue collar job. I normally do not date this type, and he did not complete college due to financial strains with his family. He lives at home with his mother with plans to re enroll in school, but it appears his family is constantly asking and in need for money that he earns to where he cannot build his own savings up to get up and out on his own 2 feet. Hmm. Unlike me, he does not come from a financially sound home. He does not come to me for money and pays for everything all the time when we are out, brings flowers over on the regular, drives us everywhere, and checks on me daily to see if I need anything, etc. Okay, so this little dude is like a gem. I can see why you are confused. Okay, however, it is uneasy for me to see these things happening, and it makes me wonder about the future going forward. He is relatively young and still building. However, I'm getting closer to 30, and I'm also thinking about marriage and a family. It also makes me wonder because he's acting as a fill-in type support for his single mother with whom he still lives. I have expressed my concerns to him, and he said he understands and is making strides to better his current situation, career, and educational goals, but I'm not entirely sure what to do. I do not want to lose out on such a good person, but I'm also a little impatient. Thanks. Oh, this is terrible. Well, both of you guys are kind of young. I mean, you really, I mean, married to 26, why? Don't you have some other shit that you would rather be doing than popping out babies and being somebody's wife? Come on now, give this some serious thought. There's plenty of time for all of that. And he's only 24, so that's too much pressure to put on him. He's in a stage, you've already been in that stage. That's, and a woman in your age group who's older than her boyfriend, it's like a 10-year age gap because women A are more mature, and then you are like extraordinarily like ahead of most 26-year-olds your age because of the family support that you have, the education that you have, the salary that you have. They helped you plan your future and make everything happen because you got that kind of family. Most young people don't have that, okay? So you're way, way ahead of most of your peers. So to have, and just I mean, females and males, okay? So then you have this young guy who's from a very tough situation. His mom's a single mom. Evidently he's got some younger siblings and stuff. And he's working, but has to, he lives there, so of course he should help out financially. He shouldn't be thinking that he's just gonna live there and eat for free and burn up the lights and all that stuff and not contribute. But what he would have to do is sit down with his mother and say, okay, I need to start planning for my future because I want to go back to school. I want to get married. I want to have a family of my own. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pay this bill, this bill, this bill, and pay this much for rent every month. And that's all the money I'm going to give you because I need to save the rest of my money. If you need more money than that, Junior over here need to get a job. Susie need to get off her ass and get a job, and maybe you need to get a job, Mama, too, or a better job or something. Everybody up in here need to be kicking in, but I can't keep giving you guys everything I got because then there's nothing left for me for the dreams that I have for myself. I have to do this, and this is how we gonna do it from here on out. And if that's not good enough, I don't know what to tell y'all, but that's what I'm gonna be doing. So you're gonna have to do without. You're gonna have to sell some of your shit. You're gonna have to shop at Goodwills or so. You're gonna have to make it work because that's all I'm gonna give you. Okay? Then open up your bank. He need to open up his bank account, put his little money in there, make sure he keeps his passbooks somewhere where they can't get to it, his card where they can't get to it, and nobody should know his PIN. So they can't get his card and go, steal his money because that kind of shit happens too. Any cash he has, he need to have a safe at his house and put his shit in it. Okay? So they can't get to it. I know this sounds really like I'm being really suspicious and all of that, but when you have a situation such as she describes, there's all kind of things that happen, all kind of angles, all kind of resentments that people build, all kind of senses of entitlement that they have, and he's gonna be at risk because it sounds like he's that caretaking, loving, supportive kind of guy. He's gonna want them to have stuff, but he needs to put some barriers in place so they can't. So, but where this comes, where the suggestion come from you, I'm not sure would go down well. I'm just saying this is what he needs to do. How he's going to handle it himself, I don't know. You might be able to say something like, "Well, have you ever considered um, you know, like paying a certain set amount to your mom for bills or whatever every month, and then putting whatever else you have in a savings account. And we don't need to go out that much. We can curb our spending and this and that, so you can make these arrangements because you got all this money, you making all this grand theft money and stuff. Um, y'all do make some other arrangements for your entertainment. That this little boy has some money so he can make what he's trying to make happen. Okay, just like you had your family helping support him, it's all he's doing the right thing. He's not being superfluous and like a dusty or nothing. He trying to hold shit down to the best of his ability. I mean, he sounds like a great kid. He's only 24. You know what I mean? He sounds like he's doing what he's supposed to be doing at 24. But like I said, you're so far ahead of the eight ball at 26, and with the background that you have and the money and the opportunities that you have, you just left him in the dust. There's no way he can catch up to you ever. So you have some serious thinking to do. Either you're gonna have to lower your expectations, and you're gonna have to, try to figure out how you're gonna help this dude get his shit straight. Or if that's nothing was nothing that you want to do because you feel like you can find this guy just like this that's also already stable, maybe a couple of years older, then you gotta have to make that choice. But he sounds like a rare person in this dating market. I just hate to see this. You guys like met the right person, but at the wrong time. That's what it sounds like. Man, you know how many women would kill to have a dude like this? It's just really sad though that his situation is like this with his mother and all his relatives. He's just got to put up some barriers. Otherwise, he gonna never make his life different. All right, let's move on to question number 11. This is a male in the 21 to 26 age group from Leeds. My girlfriend, who I love wholeheartedly, needs water aerobics classes because she got a back injury recently, and it will probably be for her entire life. Oh, wow. Let me be clear about one thing. I won't do anything to prevent her from receiving the care she needs. I'll do what it takes to see her always happier and growing in her life. I'm just looking for some perspective to deal with my suffering from jealousy. She's really very beautiful and attractive and very naive, and I'm getting mad when I imagine she's on swimsuit and her trainer flirting with her. And I know this can happen, and she'll probably don't even notice he will be flirting. He spelled flirting Flert. This makes me mad. He put a whole bunch of exclamation marks. I think jealousy comes from insecurities. I'm working hard to solve my own insecurity issues. This is one of my shots to try to solve this specific jealous scenario in my life. I know jealousy can destroy a relationship, but I'm really willing to make the leap for us. I trust her. This is not the question. The problem is, I know men are always chasing a good chance. Sorry for the term, bang a hot girl. I really don't know how to deal with this shit. I have a heavy feeling of being jealous. I've already dealt with it many times in different scenarios, and I always defeated the jealousy, but this is a whole new scenario for me. Oh my God, you are just what's wrong with you? 21 to 26, you just a basket case. You know, why? Well, get an ugly girlfriend then. Okay, that's the instant solution. Get somebody who's fat, just ridiculous, 400, 500 pounds, can't would never fit in a swimsuit. And if she got into the swim pool, swim, all the water would come out, and then nobody will ever flirt with her, and you won't ever have to be jealous. Okay, that's what you. And make sure she got a face like just look like a bear. That's what you do. Okay, and make sure you got a hunchback too, and no hair. Oh, all that, just all that. Pimples, all that. Just make sure she's just the ugliest woman that you could ever find, and then nobody will ever flirt with her, and you will never have to be jealous. Problem solved. Look at me with my genius ass. That's what you do. But you want to get, a hot girl, and then you want to be, and you admit that these things that you imagine. So it's not like she's doing anything. It's not like the trainer has done anything either. This shit is all in your sick, twisted, little fucked up head. You creating all these scenarios to get jealous about because you dumb and stupid, and you don't have shit to do with your time and energy. So you sit around creating stupid stuff to be jealous about. Your parents need to drop kick you because there's something wrong with you. I swear, if I had a son like this, I would just beat his ass with a hammer. Just yeah. It's just like, oh my God, he just dumb. This is just disgusting. I swear, I could not have a son that acted like this. If I found he felt like this, I would just I'd tell the little girl, you're going to break up with him because he's stupid. I'm sorry that my son is stupid, and I cannot inflict you with this kind of drama. Now, I want you to go somewhere and be by be with somebody else. Don't be with him. And I'm going to hang up now because I need to start kicking his ass, which I plan to be doing for the next 360 days. And then I'd be kicking his ass every day till I got tired. Oh, all made up in your own head. I have nothing else to say because this is just too stupid. Question number 12, Vale, 41 to 45, Los Angeles. I'm 44 years old, and I've been dating a 24-year-old for 5 months. Yeah, old freak, what the fuck? At first, we would just see each other about once a week, but then it became more frequent during the summer. The sex is incredible, but there isn't much substance to our conversations. You think? Is she gonna be talking about your AARP card, which is about to come in the mail? She took me to Vegas, and I also took her there. Then, for my birthday, she planned the entire day and made me dinner. What she did cost about $300. Why is that relevant? So about 2 months ago, I asked her where I stood with her, and she said she liked me a lot. I said the same. Then I took her to the Caribbean for a week. When we got home, she said she was going to be very busy with her job and finishing her master's degree, so we would only be able to see each other once a week. I said no problem. That continued until about 2 weeks ago when she told me she cared too much for me to continue because she felt she was in the way of me finding, quote, the one that I might marry. I told her I liked her enough that I'd wait for her. She said that it would be too much pressure for her. She kept saying she was confused and that she cared so much for me, but right now she can't give me what I'm looking for. My question is she telling the truth and should I reach out to her maybe because she's just confused and maybe if I reassure her that I'm here for her, she will feel better about getting back with me? Also, am I being stupid dating a 24-year-old when I'm 44? Hell yeah, you just on the, you know what? Okay, there's people that's like dumb and then there's people that's silly and there's people that's crazy and then there's people that's all of the above. That's you. You are like on the downstroke to 50 years old, and you up there trying to deal with somebody's just out of teen person. You know how disgusting this sounds? 20 years, you 20 years older than her? Come on now. This doesn't even make any sense. She's still in her 20s. She need to be dealing with some dude that's no more than maybe 32. Okay? Not your 44-year-old ass. You like her daddy. Ugh, gross. I couldn't even just look at him. Ugh. She's good. Because I would be like, oh, get your old dust covered fingers off of me. Don't touch me. I just think about myself at 24 looking at some man in his 40s. Oh my God, I would want to throw up. It's old. Okay, so no, she's playing the old "it's not you, it's me" game because she doesn't want you, and she gave you a good, valid reason. She's gonna be in school. You know that part is true. You know how demanding it is getting a master's degree. So that part is true. You have no argument with her on that tip. She doesn't want you waiting for her because you just gonna be getting older and more crusty looking, more lines, more gray hair, and just looking uglier. She don't want you. She wants some young, hot bodied young thing that's gonna be like a husband and a father to her kid that they can grow old together. You already old. Accept it. Date women your age group and stop messing around with girls in college. Ugh, this is so stupid and gross and nasty. The watchman eye said she saw gray pube hair and ran. Oh, y'all wrong for that. But she just realized, wait a minute, okay, I'm gonna be 30, he gonna be 50. I'll be 40, he'll be 60. This picture's not looking good. Let me dip out now. Chuck, that's what happened. She looked into the future and she didn't like the fact that you was gonna be, collecting Social Security and she was gonna still be a hot mama in her 40s. That's what she's looking at. Ass, these old men really need to accept the fact that they're old and stop it. Stop this. Just stop it. Stop it. Stay in your own age group. Stay in your envelope, the old envelope. Let's move along here. Question 13. We got 13. How many questions did I say we have today? I lost track. 16. Okay. 13 of 16. This is a male, 26 to 30 from Delaware Valley. I've been dating someone for almost 2 years now. Met her online. Oh. She lives 2 hours away from me. She's currently working on a nursing degree. I'm a few years older and already have my education completed and my career well underway. We argued 2 months ago because she felt like she wasn't going to be able to handle a relationship, but she moves from the easy courses to the last 2 years that involve clinicals and her preceptor program. I don't know what that is. We thought we had fixed it, but now that the semester is starting, she freaked out and said she needs to focus 100% on her degree for the next 15 months. I'm heartbroken and sad. To give you some context, she still lives with her parents who are strict and controlling, not in a religious sense, more like in a you can't date during school vein. So we don't date publicly with her family. We only see each other once a week. I've been patient, loving, kind, caring, affectionate, and more since we met, allowing her to be vulnerable and just trying to be her best friend and biggest supporter. I guess I'm not looking for advice. I'm just ranting. If I was looking for advice, I guess it would be if you have advice on how to spot or ascertain earlier in a situation the level of commitment someone is willing to make. I've learned my lesson about not being with someone just because they say yes, to just be myself and live my life. And I can find someone and to hold my non negotiables and know what and who I am compatible with. I guess I should have known to be more upfront and force the issue a long time ago when she displayed an unwillingness and fear around the future. I guess that's another lesson to be learned. I hope it's the last before I finding that lasts for more than 2 years. What? I don't know what that's supposed to say. But dude, the fact that she lives with her parents and her parents are saying no dating during whatever, and so she has to sneak around with you, that's all you needed to know. You want somebody who can be there for you and make an open adult commitment. She wasn't that from the get-go. So I don't know what you writing me this time wasting letter for. She was never gonna be yours. Ever. As long as she's still living at home and still going to school. Evidently her parents are paying for it. So yeah, they had a right to tell her ass that you ain't gonna be getting distracted by no date. We paying all this fucking money for you to go to nursing school. Your ass is gonna concentrate on what you're supposed to be concentrating on, and you're gonna wait on all of that shit until you graduate. They have every right to say that. Now, you being the one who's already so established and out through school and stuff, should have been able to use that intellect and that alleged IQ that you have that got you through school and figure that shit out by yourself. You shouldn't have had to write me this. This is kind of a no-brainer here. You want an adult relationship. She's living at home with her parents' foot on her neck. Okay, no relationship is available here. So why did you pursue this? Okay, so you wasn't looking for advice. I gave you some free anyway. Next letter. Question number 14. Male, 26 to 30 from England. I'm just trying to talk through this quote, it's not you, it's me thing. Just like dude. I know it is what it is. Do people and or women think it's gentler? it actually makes it worse because I didn't recognize it for what it was immediately. I took it at face value. Why do people talk about how honest they are and how much they value honesty, but can't be honest about something fundamental, even when asked? I was chatting with a lady to whom I was very attracted, and we had decided to move ahead to a date. Nothing too intense, just a movie at the local cinema. She canceled, then talked about being friends. All very amicable, and we continued to chat friendly. I decided to ask her to honestly tell me why I wasn't what she was looking for at this time. She responded with a series of what I now realize were the classic "it's not you, it's me" types of excuses. I feel so silly. Okay, let me explain how this goes. When you have somebody who tells you it's not you, it's me, why can't you accept that that's true? It's me who don't want to be bothered with you. It's me who thinks you're ugly. It's me who thinks you're silly. It's me who met somebody else that I like better than you. It's me who thinks that you dress funny. It's me who don't like your table manners. It's me who thinks you're moving too fast. It's me who thinks you have an octopus hands. It's me who thinks your eye crossed eyes are crazy. It's me who looking at your yuck mouth that you got cannot imagine ever kissing you. It's me. It's not you. It's me who made those determinations about you, and so I'm doing this, okay? So people should accept that because you see anything. So would you rather her tell you like um, because I'm looking at you and just the teeth, you got teeth sitting all on top of each other and shit, and you know some of them are black and it looks like you really need some serious dental work. So I don't know, because I can't imagine kissing you. You might give me gingivitis or some shit. Okay, do you want to hear something like that? Because if she says something like that to you, then your feelings will be all hurt. And then you want to accuse her of being superficial and shallow and all of this stuff. And even though it would be true, you want her to be honest, right? It would be honest. It would be 100% the honest truth about why she don't want to be looking at you. And she definitely ain't gonna lip lock you, and nothing in her mouth is going to be touching anything in yours. Okay, 100% honest. But what? How does that leave you? Like roadkill. Or you're gonna get mad, and you're gonna want to argue with her. Or you gonna tell her, well, I can go to the dentist. I can get braces. I can get that fixed. Why don't you give me a chance? Okay, so then she's gonna have to go through all of that drag and drama about you begging for a chance and explaining and wanting to. Oh, it's just too much. It's too much. So when somebody tells you it's not you, it's me, what they're trying to do is get the fuck away from you as quickly and easily as possible. What y'all need to do is just accept it. Get out of your feelings and stop thinking everybody owes you some shit the way that you want it to be. It's the same thing with closure. People say, well, they didn't give me closure. They're not obligated to give you shit. They decided they don't want to be with you no more. That's it. Okay, that's all they need to owe you. Tell you. And some people don't even get that. They just get ghosted. But either way, it's the same thing. I don't want to be looking at you. I don't want to be bothered with your ass. I'm out. That's what that means. And so everybody knows that's what they mean. Girl, gingivitis will fuck you up. You end up get gums all puffy and big, and then you got them long ass teeth that look like they start up here. People look like Wolverine and some shit. No, I'm not doing that. So, I be looking at people's teeth and stuff, looking at their gums, like they got cuts and bumps and shit on their lips and gum. No, we're not kissing. Don't even stand too close to me because some saliva from your mouth might try to touch my lip. And next thing you know, I have some fucked up lip that looks like your teeth. No. I don't know why people be all in their feelings about this. You know, whether you have too many baby mamas, they found you got all these baby mamas or something, or job challenged, or you height challenged, or you financially challenged, or you a homosexual, you just a bum, period. You talk stupid, you crazy, you drink too much. I mean, any reason in this world, somebody will use that as a reason why they don't want to see you anymore. It doesn't have to be the reason that you like, and it doesn't have to be the reason that you find acceptable. It's about them and what they want and what their standards are. You don't meet them. So when they say it's not you, it's me, that means go find somebody who's going to accept the shit that you have to offer, because it ain't me. Somebody out there wants you, but it's not this person that's sitting right here. Okay? So go along, move along, and find that person, because that's who's going to love you. You ain't going to get that shit happening over here. I'm just saying. I be real true. I'm just like, I be looking at people's gums and they smile and they got like teeth that's all, got different things going on. And then they, cavities and shit, and don't have a gold tooth. If you smile and I see some shit gleaming in the sunlight, I, ju- I can't do that. I can't. So I don't know. That's what all I have to say about that. People be really getting upset about that. It's not you, it's me thing. But you lucky to get that. Because, my favorite method is just to not say nothing and just disappear on your ass. Block you and be out. I just, I just, I'm just saying. Okay, so hopefully, sir, you will get over that and understand that that is the lesser of two evils. So otherwise, somebody gonna read your ass, and you're gonna be like, a puddle on the floor. Especially if they like me, it's like, oh, you want the truth? Okay, let's go. And I'm gonna start from your head, and I'm gonna go make stops, all in between. I'm gonna talk about your moves. I'm gonna talk about them hot dog rolls in the back of your neck. I'm gonna talk about that hairline that starts way back here some damn where. I'm going to talk about you really bad. So you don't want none of that. You just go with the excuse I give you and say, well, thank you, Deb. Thank you. I appreciate you telling me so we're not wasting each other's time. And then you go on your merry way. And then you don't have to go on your merry way with your feelings hurt. Because if you start pressing me for the honest to God truth, you're going to be very sorry that you insisted on that. You will be wishing that you hadn't said those words. So be careful what you ask for. Question number 15, female, 26 to 30 from the UK. She says, hi. My two sister-in-laws and my mother-in-law have always disliked me from the beginning. There'd be family events which my husband and I go to where the sister-in-laws would be both completely ignore me and us and not even say hello. My mother-in-law would condone their behavior. There'd be times I go to my mother-in-law church and sit alone. She would sit 4 to 5 seats away from me as if she were embarrassed by me. Well, after that happened the first time, why'd you go back? Okay, you just asking for some shit. My husband's family refused to come to our wedding abroad in India, citing work. Oh, okay. 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 Cultural shift. I have to switch gears. Okay. I'm glad she said that. As an excuse and poking fun at the Asian culture. But a year later, they all went to an extended family member's wedding abroad near to the lake location where we had ours. Following this, the relationship was never great, where they not have much to do with us. Whenever we did visit, they had little interest in us, but would talk amongst themselves about random topics slash other people. Okay, well then why did you keep going? See, I don't understand people who just send themselves into like a tizzy trying to be around people that obviously don't want to look at them. I don't understand that. All up until last year, I got pregnant. Then it was a different story, and everyone wanted to get involved. However, I had an extremely tough pregnancy. My dad was diagnosed with cancer in the midst of it and had to have surgery and chemo. I got gestational diabetes as well as SPD. What's that? Where my pelvic pains were so bad I could barely even walk. Ooh. We needed help to get ready for the birth, so my husband asked his parents for help with do it yourself projects, which fell on deaf ears. My mother in law didn't even offer to come and help before the baby arrived, even though I couldn't walk or move much. But as soon as the baby was born, they wanted to come straight away to cuddle him. Whenever they did visit the baby, they disregard our wishes and not even wash their hands or ask us first whether they can hold him, even though he was asleep, but would help themselves to him. I find their visits very stressful, and I'm also breastfeeding, as both mother in law and sister in laws are both aggressive and disrespect us, but they keep asking to visit. What can we do? This issue has caused a lot of arguments in our marriage where my husband resents me for not getting on with them, and I can tell he's miserable, which has even led to talk of a divorce. Oh, your husband's a fucking pussy. All he has to do is tell them bitches, look, you don't want to talk to my wife like you have any respect. You disrespect me. You treat us like we're trash, but now that we have a baby, you want to be all up in our house and all up in our mix? No. Stay your asses over there where you wanted to be without us. Stay there. This baby don't have shit to do with you. We don't want you here. Don't come to our house. Don't ask to visit him. Don't talk to me. Don't say shit. We ain't coming back to your church, and we're not coming back to your house, and you're not coming back to ours. Now, I know that's difficult for some people in their cultures to do that. I don't have any problem with that because I'm not going to go into an environment where I'm being repeatedly, horribly, and frequently at every opportunity disrespected and treated like I have a tail. Deb's not going to do that. You get one time. And then everybody get cussed out, and then that's it. It's like, well, you can go over there and see them if you want to, but you're gonna be going by yourself, and you ain't taking my baby when you go. That's my baby. I'm the one that carried that little bitch for 9 months, not you. I'm the one who almost died and had gestational diabetes and all these other issues. That was me. So guess what? I have full control over this little motherfucker, and it's not going nowhere that I'm not going. And since I'm not going to over there, then you go by yourself if you want to see them raggedy bitches so much. See, that's what you have to do, girlfriend. I know that's your little, I know it's difficult for you because of your culture, where you guys are raised to be respectful of elders and, people who are senior to you in age and family and all of that stuff. You have a great respect for family. But that has to go two ways, sweetheart. Okay, you have it for them, but they don't have it for you. And they don't have it for even your husband. It was just their child because he married you. So, what you need to keep in mind, okay, if you two get a divorce, then you take your baby and you go back to India where your people are and take your baby with you. That's what you need to do if you want to. I mean, otherwise, you could just give him the baby and say deuces and be out. Go marry somebody else and have a new family with some people that have some goddamn sense. But this, how they're behaving and want to come to your house and do stuff like that, you have the right to tell them, no, you're not coming over. And put bolts on your door so they can't get in if they just show up. And just, and if they keep banging on the door, whatever, call the police. Say, look, there's some intruders at my door. I told them they can't come in and they won't insist on doing it anyway. Can you come and make them leave? I'm breathing fine, lady boss. I could talk bullshit in my sleep. This ain't nothing to me. I would just not be. This wouldn't happen. They would get one time, like I said, and then I would drop the hammer on their asses, and that would be that. Because you and your husband are being so polite and taking all their shit, they keep escalating it. You guys need to stand up to them and say no to them and then present a united front because right now you're not doing that. He's trying to act like he's all in the middle and he's such a fucking victim. What he is just a weak panty wearing punk. You got a sissy ass husband. That's what you got. Just you to tell him you acting like a little bitch. I can't really respect you for the way that you acted. Find your testosterone, motherfucker, and say something to these bitches. Cause you sitting up there just acting like well, it's your fault. You should get along with them. What the fuck do I need to do? They the one that acted stupid, and you ain't saying shit to them. You trying to make it be all my fault? Fuck you, and your mama and your sisters. All y'all, fuck all y'all. Now, how about that? I wish I would. I'm going to tell you how I acted stupid with my husband's family. They called my ass the evil witch. I gave no fucks, but they didn't come around my house with no bullshit either. Question number 16, female 30 to 35. This is the last question for today's What the Fuck Tuesday advice column. We're here every Tuesday, unless I'm sick, which has happened a couple of times, where I had like no laryngitis and so. But when I have my voice, we here, okay? Tuesday, people send in their advice questions, and then we read them on the show. If you want to submit your question for consideration for What the Fuck Tuesday, in the show description below, you will scroll down there, and you'll see a link that says Submit Your Question, and you'll see a link to the form. You just click that, and it'll take you right to the advice submission form. So no need to post, where does the form? I just told you. The form is also up above from the main channel page. You should see on the nav bar up there a little green and white icon, and it'll say Get Advice. You can also click that. It takes you to the same form. So there's two ways. You can also just navigate over to the website survivingdating.com, and so you'll see a tab on the upper nav bar that says Get Advice. You can read some articles while you're there. There's about, I don't know, 900 articles posted up there. I used to be a very prolific writer. I've slowed down on that shit. Now I do videos. But there's like tons of articles you can read going back from like 2008. And, you'll learn something there too. Okay, so let's move on to our final question of the day. Female, 30 to 35 age group from Fayetteville, Georgia. Recently, I had an argument with my partner because I was not in the mood for eggplanting. This is a rare occasion. We had a lovely close day together. However, all day long he's been trying to jump me, and for personal reasons I didn't want to. We then sat down later in the day. He started going on about it and kept questioning why I didn't want it until I started to become wound up. He then proceeded to accuse me of getting wound up and that He is simply asking me in a loving manner what the problem is. It was not loving, it was just getting draining because he wouldn't let up. This often happens when he pushes and pushes me about something until I become upset, and then I get accused of overreacting. That's that male entitlement thing. I done told you all about that. That's a tactic they all use, and they keep pressing you over and over for asking you the same question. Why not? Well, come on. Why you being so mean to me? It'll be fun. You'll love it. You'll like it. So they're constantly wheedling at you until you say, okay, then, all right. That's their tactic. And they start doing that shit as little boys. So y'all need to watch that. You got sons and you let them get away with that shit. You're training them to be a narc by giving them what they want, but by pressuring women to get it. You're training them by not having a fucking spine with your kids. You got to have a spine with your kids so they get used to hearing no, and you better fucking not. And so that you have that voice to tell them that when they become, when you're dealing with grown men or when your sons become men, they'll know how to accept no gracefully without being one of these fools that want to attack women because a woman said no. This is in your hands, ladies. This is your sons that you need to start getting used to hearing no. Sometimes even if you want to say yes, say no, just because they need to hear it. No, you can do it later. No, how about next week? No, next month. No, not until you bring an A on your report card. Give them some goals. Make them stretch, do something to earn these things that they keep asking you for. In this case, this man is, trying to push her to give him some booty that she doesn't want to do. That's her body. She gets 100% the decision-making power over what happens to it and when. Anything else is called sexual assault. Okay? Just keep that in mind. So I became wound up and pissed off and accused him of being controlling, at which he goes mad and calls me a C hyphen hyphen T. How do you do? Is that how you talk to your girlfriend? See, we would have been broke up that second. I walk out and he follows me, telling me where I can go. I tell him where to stick it and leave. Oh, y'all just no. I then try to explain later by text that I really take issue with being called names and that he knows that as far as I've been psychologically abusive relationship once in my past. See, you talk too much. That's what I keep telling y'all. You guys give them a script on how to fuck with you when you start talking about the past all the damn time. Stop doing that. These dudes, I'm telling you, they're like sociopaths. And you tell them about the stuff that you endured in the past, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to treat you the same way because you took it before so you can take it from them. And you opened your big old mouth and told them that. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. He tells me he's bored of listening to me and that I can go fuck myself. Then text sorry about that later on. I'm really struggling with this whole escapade and don't know how to handle it as I'm unlikely to receive any heartfelt apology or understanding. If anything, I'll get cold treatment for not understanding him. Please help me. Take this hand. I haven't had to say this in a long time. Draw back, way, way back, and then slap the shit out of yourself because you was dumb. You shouldn't have been writing me talking about anything about how to deal with this, how to handle this. You don't handle this, you fire that motherfucker. He don't know how to talk to you. He don't know how to treat you. He's just going to try to force himself on you and wheedle and whine you when you say no. He disrespects your boundaries. He disrespects your no. He tells you what he wants and calls you names when you don't give it to him. And you think this is something that you have to handle? Are you crazy? What is wrong with you? There's nothing about this that shows respect, love, caring, anything for you. You are a vehicle for him to get his wishes met, his demands met. That's all you are. You need to see what this relationship looks like from the outside. Shit. Straight shit. And you call it, well, how long you been messing with this fool? You don't even say. Usually women put that's like one of the first things they say, but you didn't put that in here. So whatever it is, you need to, in your 30 to 35-year-old self from Fayetteville, Georgia, immediately cut all ties to this motherfucker. Tell him, you know what? I don't want to be talked to like that ever again, and that means no further association with your trifling piece of shit ass, because you don't know how to talk to nobody. You think that I'm going to stick around so you can, did you treated me like that, and I'm going to stick around so you can do it again? You tripping home skillet. I'm out of here. And you need to love yourself more. There's no any word you should have said that. Once you said no the second time, you were supposed to get up and leave. Okay? That's how you say no, not just with words. You show it with action. I said no, and I'm not even going to be here for you to ask me again. Turn your phone off. He can't call you. And if you don't have to go home, go to a hotel, go to a friend's house, go anywhere where he won't know where you are, and then turn your phone off. And that's a solid no. You ain't even talking to me to whine about it. I don't give a fuck what you want. That's how you do niggas like that. I'm just like, oh my God, this is just terrible. Anyway, on Fridays here, we talk about men like this and other dusties. You can send in your screenshots, your posts, your comments that you notice, and memes that you see online. Save them to your phone, screenshot them or whatever, and email all things Dusty to survivingdating@gmail.com. Make the subject line Dusty News. You send that in, and hopefully, we'll get it and we can review it, and we'll make a selection. We usually pick rather between 26 and 30 memes, comments, or whatever per week. Do not send videos. I cannot use them. For copyright reasons, we cannot use videos in the Dusty News Network. You have to send, it has to be something that is an image that is freely available on the internet in what's called the public domain. So you can do that. Any forum, any social media site, all that stuff is considered a public domain, and then you can send it. We can air it. All right, but not videos. It's too much drama. Then they have music copyrights, all kind of stuff. I just don't want to be bothered with all of that. All right, so that's it for today's show. Like I said, if you have an issue that's really bothering you in your relationship and you need some of my witty, deep, insightful, hardcore, kick your ass advice about it because everybody else in your life is just giving you some kumbaya bullshit, then feel free to write to me, okay? Because I'm going to always be straight with you. I'm going to always tell you as a woman the best thing to do for self-preservation to take care of yourself and secondarily your children, okay? So if you're a mom, we got to protect the babies. But my first priority is you. And then if you have children that need protecting, I will point that out to you as well. But I am always, always, always going to advocate for you to do the things that make the best sense for your mental, physical, and emotional health and safety. Okay, that's my focus. Might not be what you want to hear, but that's my approach. I've been that way for almost 30 years. I see no reason to change now. All right. And then I will be back here on Friday for the Dusty News Network. And I think I have a video I'm going to put up because something happened on the wall today that I want to talk about. So I'm going to put up a video probably tomorrow. But you guys, thank you so much for coming for the Dusty News. I'm sorry for the What the Fuck Tuesday advice column, which was actually full of dusty people and confused people and lost and, people that's, yeah, Dusty was part of this show too. But we'll be back on Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, and on Tuesday again at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 if you're on the East Coast. Thanks very much for sitting in with me. Thanks, lovely moderators. You guys always do a fabulous job, and all the crew. We love you. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.